Hey guys, another Hopper hot take this evening. Unfortunately, many of you probably starting to hear the news. Um, Sports are starting to drop, and here in Dallas County, we just found out a little bit ago that schools here won't be starting until at least September 8th for on-campus activities. That also means no athletics, no band, no fine arts, whatever the case may be. Um, what does that look like from a UIL perspective or a TAPS perspective? We don't know yet, right? There's been rumblings of pushing things back. You're already seeing colleges doing it. You've seen some high school associations doing it. It's a matter of time that it's going to hit Texas. We knew that. So where do we go from here? We still got to wait and figure out. TAPS has to decide. UIL has to decide what it is they want to do. A lot of things to work out. The one idea is that we're going to move everything into the spring semester. Boy, let me tell you, at school with 27 sports, that's going to be a challenge. A lot of schools in a similar boat. They may not have 27 sports. They may, have 20 or whatever the case may be. A lot of things to think about, a lot of things to figure out as you talk about moving sports around. When you talk about facilities or a lack of facilities, you talk about personnel, whether it's the sports medicine staff, whether it's the athletic administrators, maintenance staff, gatekeepers, officials is going to be a big one, right? A lot of things to work out. Multi-sport athletes, how does that work? How do you have a kid who plays 2 or 3 sports, and how do we adapt? Those are things that the leagues have to figure out, and unfortunately, many of the leagues aren't going to think about those issues, because the people making those decisions don't realize that those decisions affect so many people in so many different ways. Okay, but those are all things that we have to work out. I know. Again, I sit here at a school with 700 athletes and 46 teams over 27 sports, and try to think about how we would play all of those in the spring semester. Again, I'm not saying that's happening yet, but the dominoes are starting to fall, right? So those are things that we have to start thinking about. And I know that some would say that, you can scenario yourself to death. And unfortunately, that's one of the things I have to do as, sports medicine professional, as an administrator in that realm of understanding what that looks like and how would we manage that, with 2 full-time athletic trainers. And let me tell you, that's not a pretty sight, okay? And there are schools with 1 athletic trainer, right, that are going to try to do the same thing, or a contracted role or whatever. I'll promise you this: we will do the best that we absolutely can, and we will do things in a manner that hopefully will allow for some adjustments, and putting the kids first. That again is always our priority. But we have to figure out ways to do it. I just said on Twitter, how do we figure this out? We're going to take it one bite at a time, just like Jamie Woodall, talks about when she talks about how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Okay? Right now, this seems like an insurmountable task. Trying to play all these sports in the spring semester, or even in a shortened season starting in October, November, December, whenever that case may be. We're going to take it one step at a time, and we'll work through things. Again, we're going to do everything we can to provide the best care that we can. We're going to do everything we can to operate within the parameters that we have, in front of us, and that's all we can do. Athletic trainers have been adapting to these situations for months. Again, trying to figure them out, trying to figure out all the different different obstacles at play, all the different complications that may arise. You know, I think over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a lot of information coming out again from UIL, from TEPS, from other high school associations of how do we address this. You know, I haven't had a chance to look at the NCAA document that came out today. I can tell you that no high school will be following a lot of what the NCAA has put forth. I know one of their recommendations is testing athletes every single week. You can forget about that. That will not happen at the high school level, not on a grand scheme. You know, like I said, you can just forget about that. But we're going to do everything we can, take care of our kids. That's what we always do. That's what we're going to do. So hold on tight. Let's see what happens, and we'll get through it together. That's what we do.